Hello, my name is Matthias Holweg. I'm a Professor of Operations Management at the Saïd Business School at the University of Oxford. And I'd like to say a few words about our most recent research on the automotive industry. Now, previously, a lot of work on the automotive industry has said you need to be efficient to survive. So following the likes of Toyota and others, be as lean as possible and you'll succeed. There's been another statement that was very often made, namely, you need to be large to survive. And in fact, predictions have said there would only be 6 car manufacturers left in the 21st century. Well, our research actually shows that neither of those are exclusively true. It still matters to be efficient, and scale also matters, but actually they're only part of the explanation of what makes car companies survive or fail. When the crisis arrives, there are 4 factors that matter and that will determine survival. Operational execution, being lean, being efficient, still matters, as does scale, as car companies need to spread cost across as many units that they produce as possible. But those 2 that have been mentioned in previous research are only part of the picture. The other factor that matters is market reach. Now, market reach basically means how many markets are you selling into. And good examples here include, for example, Saab, which failed in 2011. One of the key reasons Saab failed was not just was it subscale, but it also was very focused on the Swedish, UK and US market only. And when the latter faced a sales depression, the company went into crisis. Equally, in 2015, Jaguar Land Rover had to issue a profit warning, not because the company was failing in any way, but because they were so focused on the Chinese sales that when the Chinese market wobbled, that Jaguar Land Rover's results were in danger. So market reach is important, being able to spread the risk across as many markets as possible. And lastly, equally important is stakeholder support. When a car company gets into crisis, what you need as a safety net is a benign stakeholder. And we've seen this, for example, with Peugeot in 2014, where the French government and its Chinese joint venture partner, Dongfeng Motors, took a stake in the company to help it survive. So that's the safety net, and actually also means that when the crisis has developed, the question very often is, will your stakeholders support you? So despite having seen so many existential crises, we actually have seen very few real exits in the car industry, and that is largely due to stakeholder support. So if we want to understand success and failure, we need to look at operational execution, how efficient is the company. We need to look at scale, how large are you, how many units of production can you spread the fixed costs over. And thirdly, we need to look at market reach. How well are you able to spread your sales in terms of a risk profile? And lastly, when things go wrong, how benign are your stakeholders in terms of showing continued support as you face the crisis? Those 4 factors together will determine whether or not a car company succeeds or fails.